What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Universal Mastery. Welcome to my YouTube channel. What I do here is I break down the occult sciences to a very practical level so that you can use them and apply them in your day-to-day life and get real, actual results. Now, specifically, just to give you a little bit of clarity on who I am Jeremiah Schwartz, that's my name. I'm fully initiated in Kabbalah, which means the top of the tree and the bottom, the Sephiroth and the Qliphoth. I'm studied with the tarot deck, which is directly connected to Kabbalah with all the pathways that go in between the spheres. So I'm studied with tarot, and I'm also studied with astrology, which is also a part of Kabbalah as well. So that's just to give you a little bit of clarity on who I am. So this is, you're listening from an actual practitioner. This isn't me just being theoretical and me just being studied. This is me being studied and a practitioner before I study, okay? This is me. I'm a warrior who sees, okay? That's the term I like to use. I was a warrior before I was a seer, okay? I was a practitioner before I became a professional occultist, with the understanding the science of it. Okay, so with that being said, what I'm gonna be going into in today's video is something that I've gotten asked a lot, and I actually haven't made a video on it yet. So I was just thinking about making a video. I got some free time here, so I'm gonna cover this topic right now. So the topic is, hey, Jeremiah, can you make a video on the lesser banishing ritual of the Pentagram? Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be going into in this video. Pretty much what I'm going to cover with it is why I don't do it. But I'm also going to give my thoughts on it. I'm going to give you the truth behind it. So I definitely think this will be able to offer some people value. I know there's a lot of people that watch my channel, and there's just a lot of people in general that perform this ritual on a very occasional basis. So once again, if that's you, this is definitely going to give you a lot of value. But if you've been thinking about performing this ritual for yourself, this is also going to give you value as well. So I'm going to go right into it. If you want to know a little bit more about the lesser banishing ritual of the Pentagram, then stay tuned for the rest of the video. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to make it clear, that just as I said previously, I don't perform this ritual myself. Okay, I don't perform the lesser banishing ritual of the Pentagram myself. And there is a reason why I don't do that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm not going to sit here and say it's wrong to perform this ritual at all. At the end of the day, this ritual, although it may seem very mystical and it may seem very esoteric, which it does have those properties, it is science. Okay, we're talking about energetic science here. So specifically, when we're talking about the lesser banishing ritual of the Pentagram, we're talking about a ritual that is designed scientifically to remove essentially dark matter energy, heavy energy, negative energy, so to speak, remove it from your being so that you can essentially have a clean slate, a fresh slate, okay? A new beginning, so to speak, energetically. Okay, that's what the ritual is mainly geared for. Now, there's also other properties that can be beneficial to it. In regards to while you're performing the ritual, you're learning how to do ritual, okay? You're learning how to visualize, you're learning how to sort of step into a traditional sense of how to do magic, M-A-G-I-C-K, which stems from Kabbalah. So you're learning how to be essentially a disciplined magician. But there is an aspect that a lot of people aren't talking about that I want to cover in this, and it's why I don't perform this ritual myself. Now, there's a very important, it's so funny because it honestly is sort of like, it's like New Age, right? There's a weird thing that's going on. It's kind of complex. We have, as I've mentioned before, we have all these old occult orders, and they're not that old. I mean, they're like from the 1900s. And we're talking about the Golden Dawn, that's a huge one. We're talking about the OTO, we're talking about the Knights Templars, the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians, a lot of these orders. and they were using certain rituals, and one of those rituals was the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. But remember, like I've said this in many of my videos, if you don't know this by now, please look into it. There is a big thing that they all missed, and it is the reverse of the pillars on the tree of life. So they're using the inverted pillars, okay? They're using the inverted pillars. So long story short, I'm not gonna go into depth with this, but long story short, most of those orders, if you actually study the magicians, the high-level magicians that were a part of all of these different orders, most of them ended up in shitty situations. Most of them, their lives went to shit, meaning they went to a downward spiral. They didn't really get the things that they really wanted out of from their magic. A lot of people like to disregard this. It's very strange to me. It's very strange. But it just shows what kind of society we live in. We live in a society where people don't look into the roots. They just hear about Aleister Crowley, and they hear about, you know, he was this mystical magician that could use black magic and create things he wanted, but they forgot that he died poor, and he had a drug addiction, and he died early. Like he died in, I believe, his 60s, right? As a poor man, with no money, begging for money from people that followed him, and he had a drug addiction. He, like, in his magical practices, he couldn't let go of his drug addiction. So the results that he reaped were not that great. It actually showed that he wasn't as powerful as he thought he was. Now, I'm not saying that he wasn't an important magician or any of these orders aren't important. We obviously can learn a lot from them, but we also want to make sure we're learning from their mistakes, okay? So there was mistakes, and it's coming back to this inverted pillar thing that I'm talking about. So let's just make that clear. They weren't perfect, okay? And we're getting the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram from these orders, okay? That's where this ritual is coming from. Now, I'm gonna explain exactly what's going on here. So the reason why I don't perform this ritual is because I'm what you call a gray magician. Okay, I use black magic and I use white magic, but before I'm a white magician, I'm a black magician, okay? Which means I go deep into black magic because I come from the belief system, and this is science, it's not just me, I'm not just having this belief, this is actually science. Light comes from darkness, okay? Dark matter energy consumes most of the energy that is within space, that exists here on Earth. And from dark matter energy, you can actually create different sources of energy, which could be called quote unquote light, okay? Energies that feel uplifting and light and heightened states of awareness, but it comes from dark matter energy. So what we can draw from this conclusion is that the root of energy that we can perceive here on Earth is literally coming from dark matter energy. So that's why it's very powerful when you start to step into black magic, because what black is representing is the dark matter energy. And when you start diving into black magic, you're learning about how dark matter energy is important for your own spiritual evolution, okay? Now, some of you might be like, okay, well, why are you sharing this? How does this have to do anything with the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram? Well, be a little bit patient. I'm about to get into that, okay? I'm just being funny. So here's the truth. The lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, as I said, is designed to essentially purify yourself. Now, what does purify yourself mean? This is like New Age. Oh, I want to purify myself. I want to banish the negativity, right? So on a scientific level, what this is really meaning is you're calling on specific energies during the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, and you're calling on certain types of energies that are designed, that are programmed within the astral plane, and you could even say other dimensions, that are designed to remove dark matter energy from your body, from your energetic field, and from your being, essentially. Now, that can be a good thing and that can be a bad thing. I come from the perspective, and this may not resonate with everybody, I am definitely not the average person in regards to reincarnation. I've done this before. I've definitely been here on Earth before, and I've gotten far in my evolution. I believe I'm here right now to literally help mankind evolve. And I have this deep knowing of why I'm here, and I understand that not a lot of people have that. So I'm very, you could say I'm very receptive to these deeper ancient truths. I come from a bloodline of ancient seers, old seers, and I just carry that within my energy body. And once again, I understand that not everyone has that. So I'm trying to share this with you with the knowledge that I have. But to use dark matter energy for your spiritual evolution is essential. Okay, you need to understand dark matter energy. This is why also within our New Age, within the New Age, there's a lot of talk around shadow work. So suddenly, since 2020, since everyone started doing quarantine, everyone's been talking about shadow work. And the reason why is because people are starting to recognize how necessary it is to embrace the darker sides of evolution. And shadow work is directly connected to the planet Saturn, directly connected to the planet Pluto, directly connected to the black sun, which is the main it's the main motivating force of energy that influences the black magician to dive deeper into understanding how dark matter energy even works and how it functions and why it's necessary. So with that being said, you have to understand that. That's the first point that we need to get to. You have to understand dark matter energy condensed enough eventually creates this pressure that forms. See, if you're into black magic, you would know this. We call it the Adamas Atur, which stands for the black diamond. Under that pressure that dark matter energy holds, it creates what's known as the black diamond. The black is signifying the dark feminine motherly current of energy that nurtures the human being within their evolutionary process using dark matter energies. Okay, remember, light comes from darkness, which means darkness is before light. Okay, the Qliphoth is before the Sephiroth. Okay, the demons are before the angels. Okay, angels you could think of as organic beings, and then demons you could think of as inorganic beings, meaning they're not just from Earth. Okay, they stem back to other planets. They have other different types of abyssal energies that take a lot of integrating to fully understand. And not all angels are just light beings. There's angels that have transformed themselves into partially inorganic beings too. It's a very interesting process. The reality is that we carry angel energies and we carry demon energies within us. Inorganic energies and organic energies. How do I know this? Well, think about this. You go to a market, one market has organic options, correct? One market will have organic food options. And within that same market, you're gonna be able to find something that has GMOs, okay? That's inorganic. GMOs is basically like chemicals. So we are consuming organic and inorganic energies all the time. But we like to think as humans, oh, we're so organic, we're just a part of source. But source, which is evolution, we're all connected with, it is organic because it has connections to Earth. You could think of organic as being connected to Earth. And it's also inorganic because everything that's outside of Earth, or things that are connected to the abyss, things that exist in places that we don't really understand, being inorganic, that's also a part of source too. It's a part of that same evolutionary overarching energy. So long story short, we carry both. So we can't forget and we can't be one-sided to this. Okay, or else, I mean, if you want to, by all means, please go ahead. You're just gonna do yourself a disservice though. So what I'm getting at here is that when you take dark matter energy and you start embracing it, which can be done through shadow work, and it does happen through shadow work, but especially when you start working through deep levels of, you could say, dark matter energy initiation, which comes through the black magic current of the Qliphoth, which is the dark side of the tree. You could think of the roots. When you start doing that, you build up this pressure of dark matter energy. And as I said, it forms the black diamond, okay? Now, scientifically speaking, what happens to the energy body on a human being, and you can literally look this up right now. If you don't believe what I'm saying, look this up, okay? Go on YouTube and search it right after you're done, okay? The way a black hole works in space, remember, as above, so below, we are microcosmic manifestations of what's going on in the macrocosm. The way a black hole works in space is it eventually builds up so much dark matter energy that it collapses on itself with all the pressure. So it will collapse on itself and then produces an almost infinite, and I say almost because to the human perspective it's infinite, but if we're talking about science it's not technically infinite, but to our perspective it's infinite. So I'm going to say almost infinite source of light from that. So a black hole is showing these principles. The science behind a black hole is showing the same principles about what I'm talking about right now. A black hole, the way it forms in space is it builds up so much dark matter energy that it collapses on itself and then produces an infinite source of light, almost infinite source of light. And now it's pretty much its own almost infinite source of light that can generate from this black hole. So the same thing happens on a microcosmic scale to the human's energy body if you are taking advantage of your evolutionary process and you understand this knowledge that I'm sharing with you. Obviously, if you're afraid of dark matter energy, if you're afraid of negativity, if you're afraid of embracing the dark side of evolution, you're going to be resisting it naturally. So you're not going to allow it to happen, which is going to keep you in the cycle of reincarnation. You'll never break out of it, and you'll just stay in the same cycles that you've been in for a while until you finally get it. Okay? Everyone gets it at some point, but it can take a long time. Okay? So I've done it, so I'm trying to share this information. There's other people that have done it too. Now, with that being said, the reason why I don't do the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram is because I understand that it's a necessary process to build up dark matter energy, okay? Dark matter energy is what is the catalyst to pushing you to evolve. Like, it's the same concept. You cannot have the diamond without the pressure. So if I was to always do the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, which is, remember, scientifically, energetically programmed to remove dark matter energy, essentially programmed to remove pressure, then I'm not allowed to be formed, or I'm not going to access the pressure necessary to form my consciousness and my spirit and my awareness into that diamond. So I'm literally, it's almost like kind of like a drug addict, right? So for example, when you have a drug addiction, you typically will feel emotions that cause you, that trigger you to want to go and use the substance so that you can remove the emotion. So you go, you use the substance, and now the emotions are gone that you felt, like the negative emotions, the dark matter energy emotions. But now you're high on the substance, and as soon as the substance starts to wear off, you start to feel the emotions again. And as they come in, then you want to go use again. And you want to go use again, and this becomes a cycle. And what happens is your body is never able to fully process your evolutionary journey. You're not able to embrace the energies in motion that are coming into your life on a day-to-day basis, simply because you keep going to something else to remove that pressure. Okay, it's the same thing with the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. So for everyone who goes through tough experiences and then thinks, right, this is common, they think, oh, I'm under spiritual attack. Oh my God, this person's attacking me. Oh my God, this spirit is after me. I gotta do the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. People become these paranoid weirdos that don't even understand what they're doing on a scientific level. And this is why from an esoteric standpoint, this is why it's so important to, before you become a practitioner, you want to embody the spirit of the warrior, because the spirit of the warrior says, I'm not a bitch. I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna run from these dark energies. Even if there is something that I feel like is attacking me, the first thing the warrior says is, what am I doing? How can I improve myself? I'm not gonna run from it. I'm gonna improve myself and ask myself, why is something attacking me? And then I'm gonna go and attack it. You don't search for me, I search for you. That's what the warrior says. Now, the person who's new to spirituality, a new ager, is going to get into this. They're going to come across these occult orders. They're going to hear about the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. They're going to do some occult practices. They're probably going to do some things wrong, which are going to invite dark matter energies into their life. And it's not that that's necessarily a bad thing. You can always learn from it. But if you're coming from the wrong intention and the wrong perspective, then you're going to be thinking you need to do this lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram all the time. And it becomes this similar cycle of addiction where these dark matter energies come in to teach you a lesson, and then you remove them immediately with this lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram, and then you invite them back into your life, and then you remove them again, then you invite them right back into your life and remove them again, and you're not learning why that you keep inviting them in. And not only you're not learning why you keep inviting them in, but you're not learning from the energies when they are influencing you. When those dark matter energies do come to you, they're meant to put pressure on your psyche. They're meant to put pressure on your conscious mind. They're meant to unleash subconscious understandings and unconscious understandings. And if you're not understanding that, then you're not evolving, you're not growing. You're actually doing yourself a disservice because you're inviting dark matter energies into your life and then trying to use light essentially to remove them. But remember, light comes from darkness, so that always backfires on you. And the way that it backfires is that you just keep the cycle repeating and you're not moving. You may come from the illusion that you're moving forward and that you're becoming a master magician because you're able to remove dark matter energy. But the reality is that the dark matter energy is ruling your life and it's actually draining your energy. And you think that you're in control, but in reality, you're not, okay? So, I mean, think about it. As a black magician myself, if there was someone that I considered my enemy and I wanted to drain them of their energy, all I need to do is first figure out where they're at spiritually. You know, like if you're gonna be my enemy, first of all, you're not where I'm at spiritually, because there's a saying, real recognize real, right? When you're aligned with source, you're not gonna have enemies that are also aligned with source. It's just a natural process. So if someone's my enemy, that means that they're not in alignment with source. So I have to see where they're at, right? So let's say I have an enemy that is sort of a new ager and they think that they know what they're talking about. And I see that they're afraid of dark matter energy and that they think they're so powerful because they know how to remove it. Now, if I want to drain them dry, I'm gonna send a certain type of energy their way, let's just say that, a certain type of spiritual energy their way to scare them so that they feel like they need to keep doing the lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram. And every time they go and do that lesser banishing ritual and they're raising all that energy, I'm gonna suck it from their ritual and bring it right back to myself. So I'm gonna send that spirit to go and do that to them, and then I'm gonna have that spirit collect the energy and bring it back to me. And now I have all the energy that they just conjured up from their ritual. That's if I really wanted to mess with somebody, and I've done that, and I do that for certain people. So you don't want to be that person, right? And I'm, since I'm, I have this alignment with source, I'm telling you, how to not fall in that trap. Now, obviously, you're going to do what you want to do. Now, talking about the beneficial side of the lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram, there is, obviously, if you're in alignment with yourself, if you're following your evolutionary path, there may be times where there is so much dark matter energy that's building up within your psyche that you literally are at like a tipping point, which I recommend you push through. I recommend this. I would commend you to do this because this is gonna reap more reward for you. I want you to be successful, but I understand that there is times where shit can get really heavy and it can be on a tipping point for some people where they're literally scared for their life. They're completely like, oh my God, like I have no idea what's going on here. I'm afraid. I feel like this is way too much. But I really want you to analyze if you're at that point. But if you were, then doing the lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram, to remove some of that pressure can definitely be very beneficial. But if you're a serious practitioner and you're wanting to evolve and turn into that black diamond and completely and permanently change your energy body into that same black hole technology that produces infinite light from darkness, then I would recommend that you embrace everything that you invite into your life. So when you start working with dark spirits, when you start working with demons, when you start embracing shadow work, don't worry about doing the lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram. Embrace all the energies that you're inviting into yourself because they're going to transform your consciousness. They're going to reawaken your subconscious, reawaken your unconscious. They're going to bring your subconscious to your conscious so that you understand exactly what I'm trying to share with you. Because there's going to be people that watch this that have no idea, they can't grasp it, but you intuitively get what I'm saying. And then there's going to be some of you that do consciously understand what I'm saying, and that's going to be very valuable if you're applying this to your life. But this was my thoughts on the Lesser Banishing Ritual, the Pentagram. I'm going to leave it there. Once again, I don't do it myself. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. Once again, there is a time and a place, but I just don't perform it myself. So that's where I'm going to leave it at. Let's see here. Yeah, so that'll be cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is say, hey, go ahead and hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you feel like it offered you value, please do that. Also hit the notification bell. I post videos as often as I can. And definitely hit the subscribe button as well. I love to see my subscribers shoot all the way through the roof. My subscriber count has been growing exponentially lately, so I'm glad to see that. And then right off of that, I want to say, definitely go to the description, hit the drop down. At that very first link at the top, you're gonna see my Patreon. Okay, on my Patreon, I have exclusive content. Some of that content is gonna be geared towards occult spiritual practices that I perform on camera, and I teach you how to perform yourself. So for example, I have a video on how to do an invocation, which is fundamental for beginning your spiritual practices, where basically what that means is you're pulling an external intelligent spirit into your own energy field, and you're integrating that external spirit into your own energy field, making it a part of yourself, basically taking its power and integrating it, alchemizing it into yourself. So what that does is that increases your psychic senses, that increases your psychic power, and that increases your psychic protection, because it gives you more awareness, it gives you more energy, it gives you more knowledge as well. So that is a video that I have on my Patreon. That's I have video, not just that video, but I have other videos that are in that same realm where I'm performing it and I teach you how to do it yourself. And once again, these videos are only for my Patreon. These are not on my YouTube channel. Then the other bit of the videos are going to be geared towards what I like to call educational entertainment, which is a video that's very similar to this, extremely similar. The video's entertaining, meaning you could just pop your headphones on, your AirPods, whatever it is, go for a car ride, go to the gym, go for a walk, go for a run, whatever it is that you're doing. But at the same time, you're getting a lot of value, okay? You're getting a lot of healthy content into your mind, okay? There's something very relaxing about listening to truth, listening to knowledge, because you don't have to resist it. You don't have to subconsciously or unconsciously resist it. You can literally be an open book and absorb all the information. So that's also what I have on my Patreon, which is once again what I call educational entertainment. I have around, I want to say 70 posts altogether, maybe 70 plus. So definitely make sure you check that out. And I also want to say, if you want to take your Kabbalah understanding to the next level, then definitely join my Patreon as well, because I break down all of the spheres from the top of the tree all the way to the bottom, sphere by sphere. And I break down my experience having initiated through them myself. So definitely make sure you check that out if you want to take your Kabbalah understandings to the next level. In order to gain access to these exclusive videos, you have to at least be a tier 2 member or up. In order to be a tier 2, it costs $9.95 a month, and that is a reoccurring payment. But if you do the math, that literally comes out to less than $1 a day. So there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be able to afford that, especially with the value that I have on there, and that is a fact. This is a promise from me to you, okay? As you go up in tiers, the benefits increase as well. I'll let you check that out for yourself. But with that being said, rolling right off of that, I would love to give a special shout out to the highest tier members of my Patreon. Their names are going to be mentioned right below that Patreon link. So huge shout out to you, ladies and gentlemen. I know who all of you are, and I'm, got my eye on you. And the next thing I want to say is big shout out to all my Patreon members. Huge shout out to all of you as well for taking your occult studies a little bit deeper. And then the third thing I'd like to say is huge shout out to all of my YouTube followers. It's obviously really important to fill your mind with knowledge and all of these different, occult, ancient understandings. So huge shout out to all of you. I love all of you, okay? Now, the next thing I want to say is go to the second link below. That's going to take you to where you can book a reading, a tarot card reading from me. You're going to see a link that says Square Appointments. You can click that. In order to book a reading, it costs $40. Basically, you click that link, you put in your credit card number, and then you can pick a day that you want to do the reading. And the way I do the reading is I pick 3 cards. So the first card I pick represents the present, the second card I pick represents the near future, and then the third card I pick represents the long-term future. So basically, the way I do the reading is I need 2 things from you. So I need you to give me a 3-digit number, because that's how I link you to the deck, that's how I link you to my reading. Meaning you give me a random 3-digit number and I pull the cards based off that 3-digit number. And then I need the main purpose for you wanting to get the reading so that I can really base the reading around that. But at the same time, you know, the reading goes in much depth. I read the cards probably way different than most people you've ever met. I read it from a subjective perspective, which means I don't break it down traditionally. I'm breaking it down based off of all the subjective knowledge I have, based off all the symbolism that I have. And I can even connect it back to the Hebrew letters if the cards that you pull connect back to Hebrew letter or have a Hebrew letter on it, which can connect me to the tarot to read your card. So I can literally, depending on your reading, I can connect to see exactly where you're located in regards to the tree of life and where you're at in your spiritual journey. And so far for the readings that I've done for people, most of them have been able to do that. I mean, actually all of them so far. Some more profound than others, but so far every single one I've been able to locate exactly where you're located at in regards to the tree of life, which is very beneficial because it gives you a sense and an understanding of where you're at in your spiritual process. And then I can even predict probably what you're going to be experiencing, you know, in your long-term future. And you know, the card reading itself gives this information as well, from the near future to the long-term future. So once again, I do the reading subjectively, and I break down the elements. I give you the zodiac sign as well. I put in the planetary understandings that I have behind it too, because I connect colors to planets and things of that nature. It's a very profound and in-depth reading, and I'm getting it from my spirit, and I'm also relating information from my spirit to you that I feel like I need to say. Once again, so far all the readings have been great, been getting amazing feedback, and yeah, so once again, you're gonna be able to book that type of appointment in the second link. And the way that I do it is, if you book an appointment, I do the reading on my phone. I do the whole reading first, then I record on my phone the entire breakdown of what every single card means and the entire reading. Once I'm finished, I send the video over to you so that you have it, and that's that. So it's a minimum of 30 minutes, so the reading will literally go to at least 30 minutes. It could be a little bit longer. And with that being said, you know, if you preferred a live reading, I can also do that as well. I have no problem doing it live. I just prefer doing it, you know, on text message, because I like fully being in my zone, so that I can do the reading in quiet. You know, I don't always like to, you know, have to be on the FaceTime and make sure the camera's set up to be able to do the reading. It just makes it more authentic for me. So that's how I prefer doing it. But once again, if you prefer doing live, I have no problem doing that as well. Either way, it's gonna be a very profound, in-depth reading. So, yep, so that's the second link right there. Other than that, that's gonna wrap this video up. Once again, I appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day or night, wherever you are. And I will see you on the next video. Peace.